in front of us, and it is taking a look at a Senate substitute for House Bill number 2495. The reason for this meeting today is that we had a conference committee report that passed favorably out of the Senate, and then it passed favorably out of the House. And upon being transcribed, there was a technical error in getting it to the governor's desk, and the contents of the document that was presented from the group that compiled the document for the governor to sign was in error. So through no fault of the legislature, we have to take a look again at putting the contents of Conference Committee Report 2299 in a format that is what had passed the Senate and then the House, and get it to the governor if the Senate and the House pass it favorably again. So I think I've explained our situation. If I have not done so correctly, the reviser can talk about some of those more technical aspects. And the proposed Senate substitute for House Bill 2495 is 22 RS 4067. The reason we are looking at House Bill number 2495 is that the entire contents of House Bill number 2495 have already been enacted into law. So we are not doing anything to impact the contents of 2495. They've all been enacted. When we will be substituting those contents then with what we've got in RS 4067, which again are the contents of what passed the legislature as CCR 2299. And I'm going to ask the reviser to give us a reminder of the bills that were the content of the conference committee report. They are all bills that passed very favorably through this committee and through the Senate. So with that, Mr. Thompson, if you can give us a bill brief of the contents of RS 4067, which are actually what were in CCR 2299. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Jason Thompson, Revisor's Office. So the contents of the conference committee report for 2299.
And before we get started, should we have a motion for the substitute, and or have you describe it first?
Madam Chair, your call completely. The main thing is that you just want to make sure we've pulled up House Bill 2495 for action, and that you're ready for action on that bill at the appropriate time.
Yes, we have pulled up House Bill 2495, and I'm going to move that we substitute the contents of House Bill 2495 with 22 RS 4067. Is there a second? Second from Senator Wilborn. And with that, then, if we could have the bill brief from the reviser.
All right. Thank you again, Madam Chair. So the conference committee report contents, which are reflected here in this proposed substitute, are the contents of 2299 itself, as it was amended by the Senate committee, which allows a search warrant to be executed within 10 days from the date of issuance. It also has House Bill 2508, as amended by Senate Committee of the Whole. That's the bill requiring retention of fingerprints by the Kansas Bureau of Investigation and the use of the federal wrap-back program. You may recall that. Then also the contents of House Bill 2582, as further amended by House Committee, which is the bill directing the Department for Children and Families to share certain information with investigating law enforcement agencies. And then two other Senate bills, Senate Bill 435, as introduced, but with an amendment that was considered in conference proposed by law enforcement. That's the bill expanding law enforcement officers' jurisdiction. And then the final bill that was part of the bundle was Senate Bill 395, as amended by Senate Committee of the Whole. And that's the bill protecting private property from certain unauthorized surveillance by the Department of Wildlife and Parks.
Thank you. Committee, any questions for the reviser? Senator Pyle.
What was the CCR number?
2299.
Same as the bill. All right.
Yes. Any other questions for the reviser? Seeing none, then any further discussion on the motion? Yes, Senator Thompson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So these are all just little technical fixes to the language. It doesn't change the content of, I'm assuming, just confirming.
Mr. Thompson?
Madam Chair, so what you see in the proposed substitute is what was contained in that conference committee report for House Bill 2299 that passed 40-0 and 110-3. And through the error that we mentioned, one section did not accurately reflect what was passed in that conference committee report, and that section potentially invalidates the entire enactment. So we've attempted to get everything back in here exactly as you passed it, so that when it's engrossed this time, it would be the same thing the governor signs is the same thing that you passed, which is what the law requires.
Understood. Thank you, sir.
And we want to make sure that we're acting within the presentment clause, that what is presented to the governor for signature is presented to her as it passed out of the legislature. And that through the technical error, that didn't occur. So that's why we're going back and rerunning it as it was passed through the conference committee report to get it back in that form, and then with the transcription from the legislature to the governor for signature, we won't be looking at a technical error again. So committee, other questions? Seeing none then, you all have heard the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The motion carries. Do we have any other business of the committee? And then do we have a motion regarding the Senate substitute for House Bill 2495? I'll move that we pass Senate substitute for House Bill 2495 favorably for passage. Do we have a second? Senator Haley, thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none then, you all have heard the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The motion carries. Thank you, committee. It has been a pleasure to work with you. We are adjourned.